Hello and welcome to Miniature Realms and welcome to Hobby Diary number 2. I think it's been about a month since I recorded the last one of these, and it feels like there's been a long enough gap to revisit some of the things I spoke about last time and sort of check where I'm up to at the moment. So yeah, we'll check whether I'm still on track and keeping up with the promises I made myself in the last one. Maybe not, we'll see as we go along a little bit. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I've had a pretty good month since I last recorded one of these. Work's busy, all the joys of the pandemic world at the moment, and nursery bubbles. I think I've had another interruption. I've probably lost count this year now how many interruptions I've had where the kids have been off, or one of the kids has been off. My youngest has been off because the nursery bubble's been there's been a COVID case, and then he can't be in nursery, so I can't work in the day, and all the fun that comes with that. But still managing to do videos and things. So yeah, other than that, it's okay. Nothing really to complain about compared to some other people who have had a much hard time of it. So I hope you're all okay with it still. Hopefully things are looking up for you. I know in the UK. We're opening up a lot now. Whether that's right or not will get to be seen, but there's some signs of positivity. But aside from that kind of stuff, I've just hit 500 subscribers on the channel, so thank you very much if you're one of those, and if you're not one of those, please subscribe. I think I've been going for just over 4 months now, and so 500 subscribers is a lot more than I would have expected at this point. I don't think I had a target to begin with anyway. As I said, early on in the days of the channel, it wasn't that long at all, but when I started doing the channel, it was a home for my own hobby more than for the business, and it remains that to this day, a place where I can put a lot of my historical gaming and things that aren't so much related to Middle Earth, for the other sort of outlet I have, which is the Out of Frying Pan podcast. But so yeah, thank you very much for subscribing. It's been a bit of a surprise, and hopefully it continues to grow, because I'm enjoying the way it goes now. So as much as I wasn't too worried about having lots of subscribers, now I've got you, I want to keep you, and I want to keep you happy, and keep making videos you enjoy. So I do want to hear from you. Please do get in touch, please do interact in the comments and things. What's the next thing I want to cover? I have a new logo for Miniature Realms. I have a listener to the Out of the Frying Pan podcast, and I'm not sure if he watches these videos as well. He did mention videos. I don't know if he just meant the Middle Earth related ones, but Harjanda Singh, just out of the blue, sent me a message on Facebook through to Miniature Realms with had a little bit of time spare at work, and I've knocked you up a new logo. And I was sort of staggered, blown away with it. I actually had plans for having a new logo for Miniature Realms business at some point next year. It was penciled in to look into getting it done, and he basically took the logo that I have Out of the Frying Pan podcast as a bit of inspiration, and then took my current Miniature Realms logo and kind of came up with something that resembled them both, and it's absolutely fantastic. So I'm actually going to start using it. I just wanted to thank him somewhere in a public way. No doubt I'll do so on the next record Out of the Frying Pan podcast. So I can get rid of that old logo there and pop the new one in. So I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. But I think it's got a resemblance to the Out of the Frying Pan podcast one, which is cool. But I really like it. So anyway, there's a new logo, and that's what will be appearing on all the new videos from this one moving forwards. So where I'm up to in projects, it's all very much slow and steady, I think. Still been chipping away with the American Civil War epic battle stuff. It's taken me a little bit longer to get through the regular troops than I would have expected. I talked a little bit on the last Hobby Diary about how I've changed the way I normally work. Normally I work on bulk in big projects, but because I'm making videos, that's not very conducive to producing regular content. So I do dip in and out, and maybe complete a full stand for something, whether it's a painting tutorial or something like that. It requires me to do more things to provide more content, which I really enjoy doing, so that's not a complaint, and it's really nice to do little bits of different miniatures. But if I was just doing the epic ACW project without YouTube, I'd have probably gone, let's get through the bulk of the regiments first before I did all the nice stuff. That's the way I tend to do it. If I'm eating dinner, I leave a little one of my favourite things at the end. But when it comes to miniature painting, I try to do the same, but it just doesn't work with the YouTube thing, because you guys have asked me for painting tutorials on different stuff, which is great. So it shows you want to see a variety. I want to paint the new things as they come out. I want to talk about the new things, do reviews, and cover them in the project vlogs and things. And that's the same for Bolt Action. Will be the same for Wars of the Roses, which I'll come back to in a moment. So it has changed the way I hobby a little bit. So I'm doing lots of little bits. But if I want to get down and play a game, I'm definitely going to have to kind of maybe not record any videos 1 week and just spend that bit of time just finishing off a few regiments. So I've got a lot of nearly finished stuff done. So other projects, as a Bolt Action, it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do, which is just trickling along slowly as a bit of a side project, a bit of a slow burn. I've got some terrain which I've recently done a review for. That's all built and ready to go, ready to paint, and when I decide to do that, it'll be a relatively quick job. I've got something a little bit extra special but cheap at the same time, but I'll say for another video, which will go on that terrain board, but let's just say it went choo-choo, and hopefully I can rescue it and paint it and make it look something quite cool as a cool piece of terrain for the board. But we'll leave it there for now as well until I cover that in a video. I think I promised myself on the last channel and spoke at length about not doing any more projects because I didn't want to have too many, and by having too many I don't tend to do them, or at least in the past I've had problems having too many projects. So I'm going to start another project. I sold some of my backlog of miniatures that are up in the loft up there, and bought into Wars of the Roses. So full on I Blame Martin stuff from the Plastic Pack podcast. Doing it slightly differently. I'm doing it in 10mm, and there's videos already on the channel for that. There's a project vlog number 1's already up on the channel, and by the time you're watching this, there will be a review of the Pendragon 10mm miniatures that I'm using, and there's also a review of the 10mm battle scale buildings that I bought for the terrain. So it will be a very, very similar process in terms of project vlogs to the American Civil War ACW epic stuff. American Civil War ACW, same thing's due. Epic stuff that I've been doing. It will be a much shorter project, I think. There's less miniatures involved. They should be quicker and easier to paint. It may well even be completed before the American Civil War one is, just because I think a couple of really big sessions painting it will actually do quite a lot. So, but I will follow the similar kind of progress. So do project vlogs. I'll do the odd painting tutorial as well to support it. And we'll see where we go from there. The early reception from the video going up has been pretty good. People seem pretty interested, so hopefully it will continue to be that way. And what else have I got? So I'm thinking a little about future projects, which seems a ridiculous thing to do when you've got 3 sort of fairly sizable historical projects on the go. And that's, aside from the Middle Earth projects that I have on the go at the moment. I'm still working on Smaug. He's probably 70% done, because I keep doing little things and different jobs. He's not made his way to finishing. I've also got my Ent army for Middle Earth that I'm working on at the moment. Well, I've started building. I've not really started painting yet. As soon as Smaug is finished, that will be the main project there for Middle Earth, and that needs to be ready for a certain small convention called CrackCon in October. So there's a little hint about what Dan and I are going to be running as a bit of a sort of display stroke semi-participation game for those going and want to come and join in. So we're going to be doing something relating to Ents, and we will be discussing that on an upcoming podcast as well. So those of you who do listen to the podcast, look out for that one. But aside from that, I'm still thinking about other future projects. I'm almost planning what historical project to do when the first one of the 3 main ones that I'm working on at the moment drops off, which funnily enough might well be the last one I started, might well be the Wars of the Roses one. I've been chatting via email and in comments on videos with Miller from Miller's Miniatures a little bit today, about English Civil War. I've had that sort of mentally penciled in for a while as something that I would like to cover. I'm torn at the moment between doing 10mm Pendragon or looking at 15mm. So we've been talking a little bit about that today, and I won't go into too much detail now because it's not really something I'm going to be purchasing or starting in until genuinely this time around, until I've finished one of the other projects. So there's an extra goal there for me to get one of them finished and done. And then there's a potential Warmaster stroke Battle of 5 Armies. I don't know if anyone remembers, Games Workshop released the box game, the 10mm box game Battle of 5 Armies, standalone before they before the films came out and before they got the license to do Middle-earth strategy battle game. It basically runs on the Warmaster rules, Warmaster Ancients rules essentially by then, which was like a second edition, I suppose. I'm really tempted by that. You can get some really nice alternative miniatures by Copperstone Castings, I think, available from Nostar. Really fit right in with it. They're really expensive, only available on eBay. So not the Copperstone Castings, the originals are really expensive on eBay. But it's been nagging at the back of my mind for a while. It's something I'd like to do. And if I want to do amassed fantasy combat, Middle-earth is my home for most fantasy things. And I think I feel the core, I feel the pull of that towards 10mm gaming rather than just doing pure Warmaster, which is still tempting. But there's a lot of really nice 3D printed models for Warmaster out there at the moment. But anyway, I'm looking at Battle of 5 Armies probably, and whether I can get hold of a decent quality set, which may be a way to do that, and I'll come back to you more about that. So that's another potential future project. And on to the final bit for this, still a little hobby update today. I'm thinking ahead a little bit beyond Epic ACW, and it's I'm recording this 2 days before the UK Games Expo in Birmingham. I presume it's in Birmingham, it normally is. I'm not going, unfortunately. I'm going to be catching up on work from the time I had when my my 2-year-old's nursery was closed. But there's Warlord Games are going to be there, and I'm sure there was a cryptic message in one of their posts about it saying that there might be news about a future release, and it could be anything. But watching the Plastic Crap podcast, an episode before the last, I believe, something I haven't picked up on, but the geek villain Matt, he produced some new designs and showed them on his website, and I'd seen them. I liked the post on Facebook, but one of them was a Waterloo map, a 6x4 Waterloo map. I think it says designed for 6mm and 15mm, and there was a Warlord Games logo by it, which is what they do when they make something under a bit of a license or a deal. I think there's a Gettysburg one around the time that Epic ACW was released, and I just didn't clock it. I didn't pick up on it at all. But they chatted about it on the podcast, and it was quite a good guess, I suppose, that maybe we might be getting Warlord Epic Scale Napoleonics. That is a guess at the moment. By the time you're watching this and by the time this video's out, that may well be confirmed. It may well be confirmed that it was something else. It'll probably be Epic Wars of the Roses, considering I've just bought into 10mm. But we will see if that turns out to be the case. And I've talked about it before. Napoleonic is a huge part of my military history love. Probably came before any of the systems and periods I'm working on at the moment. It was always a plan to go and visit that at some point. And if they don't do an Epic version, I'll be doing it in 10 or 15mm. So it might be Pendragon, because they've just releasing a Peninsula range, which is right up my alley, rather than Waterloo more maybe. But we will see. But if they release it, I can't see me not purchasing it. So I'm a little bit excited about finding out some news this weekend, and wish I was going just in case they do have some kind of information there, some images or anything. But I'm quite excited to find out whether we will have some news around that. So if anyone goes and sees this video and wants to take some pictures and things, if there's enough, if it's true and they're releasing it, or they announce any new Epic range, and it's something I might do, I may even do a little video on it. I don't normally do newsy type videos, but I may even do a little video on it just to discuss my thoughts and things on it, really, especially if we see some community reaction. But anyway, that's my hobby update. That's where I am. So not a huge way on from a lot of the things I said last time. I've started a project I promised I wouldn't start yet. I'm already talking about, I've added 2 more at least future projects that I've not really mentioned before. So if I stick to my usual ways, by the time we do hobby diary number 3 in a month's time or so, I may have bought into it ECW. I'm really not planning on doing that until I finish on these, but I said that last time, didn't I? So thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for subscribing to the channels. It's really great to see how it's growing, and I will catch you all soon, guys.